The Bengals appear to avoid disaster as the injury bug bites again, but it isn't too serious. Get the latest on the Bengals injury situation, an update on Joe Burrow, and more training camp observations right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and buckle up because training camp coverage just continues to roll on. Rain, snow, doesn't matter, and I know it's not going to snow in July, but the point is we're going to have you covered day in, day out throughout training camp. And yes, I'm working on my tan a little bit. You know, I got to get a little color now that it's August. And look, now that the calendar has turned to August, the Bengals, well, preseason game number 1, just 11 days away. And a big part of the training camp battle was Trayveon Williams in this running back battle. Who's going to be the third down back? And I think Trayveon Williams coming into camp was the favorite for that third down role, at least as a pass protector. Doesn't mean Chase Brown wouldn't get run on third down. Doesn't mean that Chris Evans couldn't push for one of these roster spots or force their hand and make them keep 4 running backs like they did last year. That said, Trayveon Williams went down today with an ankle injury. It appears to be minor. According to Ian Rapoport of NFL Network, it's a minor ankle sprain. Just watching him, he did try to get it taped and put pressure on it. That did not happen, so we will see. But it sounds like he avoided any type of break, which is really, really good news. And there is kind of a positive in this. And the positive is the Bengals are going to be able to get Chase Brown and Chris Evans a lot of preseason snaps and evaluate their pass protection and get them experience doing that and really go that route. Not that Trayveon Williams is going to miss the entire preseason. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is early on now, you'll be able to evaluate both guys. But overall, it looked really serious. I tweeted out some clips of him being carted off, and I was just like, hopefully it's not as serious as it looked. Doesn't sound like it is, so really feel good about Trayveon Williams. Devonta Maxwell, undrafted free agent, defensive tackle. He was carted off as well. I don't have an update on him, but Williams does seem like he'll be back in the near future, relatively speaking, and could be ready for week 1 for sure. That said, in the running back room, and I'm going to get to a Joe Burrow update in just a second, Chase Brown had a really nice day today. Explosive, some runs up the gut that he would bounce out after, and make a cut and go. I liked what I saw from him. Obviously, Joe Mixon, the lead back, and had some nice runs. Seems to have a nice run or two daily here in camp. But Chase Brown, this might have been his best practice session. So he continues to develop and continues to grow. So we will see there. By the way, today's training camp report brought to you by Rivertown Inquiry and rivertowninquiry.com. Doug and his crew do an awesome job. So if you're looking for any kind of orange and black gear, and yes, we're going to have some CBT gear coming your way soon, make sure you go to rivertowninquiry.com. Joe Burrow, the latest on him, he's around the team today again, wasn't at practice, but was in the locker room and is getting treatment, is working out, all of those things, is going through meetings with the team, and that's a really good sign. The fact that he can do all of those things, stuff that he wasn't really able to do last year. He wasn't able to work out after he had the appendix removed, and obviously it burst, and he had the IV or the PICC line that he had. Like, it was just like, you do not want to go through that again, obviously, or anything like that. He's still got a calf sleeve on that right calf, but overall, I think he's doing all right, and will continue to miss practice, but seems to be doing everything else. So last year when he had to mentally get ready and physically obviously put on as much weight as he needed to, he's not going to have to do any of that this year. Can still lift, can still work out, can still be with the team. And so hopefully he can slide in when it's time and not miss a beat much, because his backups, well, they missed some beats today. And I'm not trying to be mean to Trevor Siemian or Jake Browning. Browning was with the first team. Siemian will be with the first team on Thursday and Friday. But, man, they both missed throws that I think they would want to have back, expect each other to hit. And whether it was Browning just missing a Jamar Chase deep downfield and just throwing the ball too short, too high, too late, however you want to describe it, it gave and allowed Cam Taylor-Britt to catch up and bat the ball away a couple times, or they were really contested catches that didn't need to be contested, even in one-on-ones. Throws to the sideline, well, they're out of bounds, and they took the receiver out of bounds when Chase could have had both feet down. So the quarterbacks certainly left something to be desired. Reed Sinnett took his first team reps today, and the third-string quarterback. The first snap was a fumbled snap, and then after that he did complete a few passes. But overall, the quarterback room left something to be desired today. In their defense, they've been pretty good overall. I thought Jake Browning was really good on Monday. So these are ebbs and flows of training camp. I've done reports where Joe Burrow hasn't had the best day. That's part of it. So use that as a disclaimer. It's not like every practice, every quarterback, or any quarterback is perfect. That's part of camp. Other notes, Charlie Jones seems to, much like Chase Brown, I think he's hit another gear. And he was really good in one-on-ones, but the team portion of things yesterday had a real nice catch over the middle, took a screen, and it was able to just take it up the sideline for a pretty big gain yesterday. And today it was sort of the same. Had a really nice catch in the red zone. In one-on-ones, he beat Sidney Jones. He beat DJ Turner for a contested catch. He was really showing off the route ability, his ability to use his body, his ability to had a really nice catch on the sideline. I think he got both feet down. There was a coach blocking, and you'll see the highlights when we post them. Yeah, of course we're going to have the highlights. Got one foot down for sure. The second foot the coach was blocking. It depends on how his foot was. Was it straight because he'd be out of bounds, or was it a little crooked because then it was probably in bounds? Either way, Charlie Jones had a heck of a practice. It was the first day of training camp with pads on, and so I should talk about the trenches, and rightfully so. I thought the defensive line played pretty well overall. I noticed Sam Hubbard make a couple plays, Joseph Osai. Trey Hendrickson wasn't in much and was on the rehab field for most of practice. Offensive line-wise, Jonah Williams was able to start at right tackle this week, or today rather, as they rotate. And he was pretty good today, I would say. The offensive line overall has been solid throughout and hasn't been a big topic, which is exactly what I think you want to hear. So that's certainly a welcome sight as well, that the offensive line looks the part. And no one looks the part more than Orlando Brown Jr., all 6'7", 345 pounds of him. So, yeah, I think that this offensive line is in good shape. And defensive line-wise, I know a lot of people have asked about Myles Murphy. Noticed him some, but he's not getting I don't even want to say the opportunities. He had some nice plays today with the backup unit, but he's not like running with the ones, right? That's Joseph Osai. There's guys ahead of him. Cam Sample had some nice plays, obviously Sam Hubbard. But I did notice Myles Murphy a bit today in pads, and I think we're going to continue to notice him more and more. I'm starting to notice it isn't always like DJ Turner where they just pop off right away. And by the way, Turner had some nice battles with Jamar Chase today. Jamar Chase did draw a holding penalty on Turner. It would have been a holding penalty or pass interference, one of the two. I would have probably called holding. But that said, Turner battling Chase, Cam Taylor-Britt battling Chase. You like to see those young corners do that. But overall, like I said, I think it was a really productive practice. Both trenches, offensive line, defensive line, it's a really good combo. They're making each other work. I think Cordell Volson looked really good. Jackson Carman was with the twos, and they're rotating at right tackle. That's still a battle, but as I've said, I think Jonah Williams is the favorite there, so we'll see. But overall, this team, they're set up. There's a lot of talent on this team, and those CBT listeners that have came out and said hi, shout out to you guys, because it's been really fun meeting you in person. And I know there's a lot of Locked On Bengals listeners as well. So shout out to you guys for saying hey. And, man, it's going to roll on. We have stuff for you on Wednesday as well, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Even when the Bengals are just having a walkthrough and they're not practicing, that doesn't mean we won't have you covered. It's training camp, and this is Cincinnati Bengals Talk, so we have you covered. So, for Andrew Fox-Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.